this video is going to be a little different. So we're right now in the middle of this thing called Explore the Cell. That is the moon cycle that we're on. But quite frankly, there's like so much involved here that that I still have to QA. Some of them are kind of fun. I'll just show you one of them. I really liked, I think Life Cycle was pretty fun. So like, for example, we would say tap the next stage of a chicken is an egg. After the egg comes the chick. After the chick comes the chicken. No, after the chicken comes the chick. Nope, it was the egg. After egg becomes a chick. Oh, after a tadpole, it becomes a froglet. After a froglet, it becomes a frog. After a frog, it becomes an egg. Do they have eggs? Do frogs have eggs? So, sprout to plant to seed. But no, we already had a seed potato. We got a flower. Is it tuber? Yeah, you do get tubers at that point. Seed potato. All right, so as you can see, this game rocks. I actually really like how this one came out. But while I was doing this, I was like, I gotta make more videos. So what I actually decided was, wait a minute, I make a ton of skills and I just don't share them with people. So why don't I go back a little bit to Potato Core and share with you some of the skills that I'm building, but also make them as, the word that comes to mind is ambidextrous, adaptable. That's the word I'm looking for. As adaptable as possible. So we'll do this. We'll go CD. I was going to make like a tips and tricks one. This is how mine works. If you're interested, just pause it. You could read that. It's really just like I have these 4 verticals that I'm working on. The key thing is this skill that I made called context clearing, but then there's like other skills that I want. And I think a more effective way to look at a skill is it's just a run book. And so if you have a good enough skill, you create a loop based on that run book. And then you have a goal that's tied to a variety of skills. All of a sudden you can create a loop. All of these things actually have meaning. So let's follow our standard pattern for a sec. CD, I don't know what I'm doing. Claude. What is a Claude goal? What is a Claude skill? What is a Claude? What was that last one? Goal, skill, and loop. All right, so now while that's running, that's just gonna like let you see how I made this video. But other than that, I have this one called context clearing. So I think step 1 is gonna be me going onto GitHub and making a new project that I can clone down. Why am I doing it on GitHub? Because I think this is a perfect example of me making, what would we call it? Potato skills. That's on brand. Yeah, and we're gonna say free open source Claude skill directory. So I think I'm gonna. I'm trying to think like, should this be something that just exists within Potato Core? No, because Potato Core can host it, I guess. Oh no, what I could do is once I go live with it, have a viewer for them, and then that subdomain on Potato Core, and then somewhere on Potato Core I link to it, or I could host it in an iframe. It doesn't really matter. I just I'm trying to. I gotta pick a license. I'm gonna go with no license for now. What is a good open source license that protects me? I'm gonna do potato skills, security and quality. How do I? Is it like? I gotta delete it and just start over. Delete this repository. I want to delete this repository. I've read and understand the effects. Where's Brett? Potato skills. Yeah, so we're wasting time. I'd skip ahead if I were you. Default Apache 2 for most. What is this? I want it to be free. Dead simple. Don't care about patents. Force redistribute to stay open. Liability patent shield. Let anyone use it. I think this is the one where it's like, you can't steal from, or like you can use it however you want. You just can't sue me for having open sourced it in the beginning. That's what I want. Public, start with a template. Don't need a template. We're going to go Apache 2.0 license. That's the top one. That's what we learned today. Let's also incorporate that into our, yes. What is Apache license 2.0? What license is a good, break down some what are standard coding licenses that help protect the writer, the creator? of the project. All right, we're going fast. We're here now, we're over here, and we're over there. Then we're over here. This is called potato skills. We're gonna clone this down. We called it tips and tricks before. Okay, did this, ls, didn't do anything yet. So I'm gonna do git clone. So this is potatoes. So ct potatoes, git clone potatoes. Cloning into potato skills. cd potato skills. All right, now we're in potato skills. Claude. Hello, this is a directory where we will be creating and open sourcing some skills. The first one I have in mind is a more adaptable one for what are we working on? This one is for context clearing. We'll call this one context journaler. The idea is we have essentially a standard cookie cutter, out of the box, modern, using design skills that we already have to create a very standard, what are they called? Web app, as well as the actual skill context journaler. So we will need to package skills in this way. I like skills that integrate with some external system. In this case, we are building that system. So I like skills that integrate with some external system. In this case, we are building that system. We have to do this within like the next 20 minutes. I like skills that integrate with some external system. In this case, we are building that system. So it's going to build this. That should be separate from the skill. I spelled separate wrong. It doesn't matter, but stupid dog made me look bad. That should be separate from the skill. We are building the system. That should be separate from the skill. I like skills that integrate with some external system. In this case, we are building that system. That should be separate from the skill. So the key to the skill is that it creates a title, is that it creates beautiful like pages of content, is that it creates beautiful pages, beautiful web pages in a structured blog-like format, is that it creates beautiful. So, and I don't know what I'm doing. If you like follow the beginning, the way that it works is I told Claude, whenever I ask a question, I want you to add that to the seed SQL that ends up building the website entirely. In this instance, we're not using the Claude MD to do that. We're actually creating a skill so that after the fact, whatever our massive context is that we have, like the thing is, Claude, I think will, if you do like compress or like clear, or I think there's like a command. Is it compress? Or it's compact. But the thing is, it gets to ingest it. The thing is, when you're working with Claude, if you're asking a lot of questions and you're like trying to get better as a developer, I think that there's value in compacting that for our own digestion and perhaps the artifact that we give to others. Maybe it can help us guide our personal development. So the key to the skill is that it creates beautiful web pages in a structured blog-like format. A structured blog-like format by ingesting context. It would take the context of a given session and then create a blog for it with the user as the with the user. Uh, okay, this is where it gets complicated because my brain goes in a million different directions. I think that uh, and then create a blog for it with by default the target audience being the individual who was engaged in the session. Basically, a more advanced form of one's self, writing a blog post for oneself. Basically, a more advanced form of oneself, writing a blog post for oneself based on a discussion. It acts as an organic hook for recall. By scanning past blog posts, one might be able to better get up to speed with all the work they have been doing. Instead of hitting clear, they context journal, which will guarantee some useful diamond to be extracted from the rough context conversation one has had with Claude in the meantime. We want to make this a general skill, but even as I dump all of this out now, we want to make this a general skill, but even as I dump all of this out now, there are tons of different variants I want to explore. So I think McDur Context Journal is the root of a variety of different flavors of this. And I mean, like, you could go with tags, but like I want to explore different options. So a variety of different flavors of this. So let's explore those together. So I think McDur Context Journal is the root of a variety of different flavors of this. So let's explore those together. I was thinking of general versioning, but I want to go all the different directions. So perhaps we have a potato version just out of the box. What does it do? Captures the context, makes a blog post. A tater version, more advanced, requires integrates with the web app we are talking about instead of potato, which might be better for a more seasoned developer who knows how to work a potato. Pierogi maybe is more designed towards a given audience so that it's not for me, but as developers with their own personal brand do their thing, they can extract diamonds from their conversations. And maybe fries, which is fry, which is more like the brain rot or standard audience model that extracts from the conversation a more what are they called, flashy slash not necessarily brain rot, but brain rot or standard audience model that extracts from the conversation a more flashy slash like rapidly or like caveman, what is it called, caveman skill Claude. Is it called caveman? Yeah, a more flashy caveman skill type of thing. Those four are good for now, and the fifth directory would be the web app tailored to Tater. Or we would just put it in Tater. No, yeah. Tater gets the web app. Oh, the fifth directory should be the out folder that when a user downloads this project, they would be able to explore / overwrite this parameter to decide where the content goes. So where did it go? Where did it go? That was a great prompt. I don't know where it went. As that goes, I said, what am I doing? Both are short versions. Let's see. Maybe we can review this in the meantime, npm run dev. Claude primitives. Goal. I don't know if you're watching the World Cup, but a couple upsets yesterday. What is a Claude goal? Is the end state you hand Claude, the done you are steering towards. This, I think, is key to understand when you're making a goal. A goal is not a button you press or command you type. There is a you lied to me. An agent is given I'm gonna have to correct it. What is a Claude skill? A skill is a package reusable capability on demand. What is a Claude loop? Loop has two meanings: the agentic loop, the engine, the loop command. There's literally a goal feature. You lied to me. You lied to me. You said there is no Claude goal command. Maybe I downloaded it as a skill, but you should look it up because it most certainly does exist. And I'm also going to Google it right now. So you're right to push back on me instead of asserting. Claude goal? What'd that do? Claude goal. Yeah, creates an autonomous loop that directs Claude to work on a task nonstop until a specific condition is verified by an independent valuation model. Like, the best way to do that is goal, make me $1 million, and then give it like access to like Twitter credentials, and then like an XRPL wallet or a wallet address or seed phrase, and then like dump some money into it and then see if it could reason. I mean, that'd be a fun experiment. Maybe we'll do that some other time. In the meantime, in the mean of the while, a million eyes watch for millions of miles. Hey, Brett, love this. A context journaler as the flagship of an open source skills repo. Let me ground myself in what's already here and how skills are structured in your world before I start riffing so the packaging matches your existing conventions rather than inventing new ones. Nope. We have nothing right now. I think we can make potato. I think you are capable of spinning up this project, of spinning up the web app, I think you are capable of spinning up a spec that is visually appealing, a spec that will work well with a visually appealing standard blog website, then sharing it with a new session that builds the web app. While we work on the skill, I have a couple other sessions of Claude I am working at now. We can test the journaler with. Empty repo accept license clean slate. Let me read the existing context clearing skill since it's the closest cousin to, yeah, right. The thing about the current context clearing skill is it is very much for me, yes. We want this to be more adaptable, but still potato. So yeah, when I deploy this today, I don't necessarily think that it's ready. I think that's something that I do with a lot of my own personal projects, just because if someone was to like stumble upon what I'm working on, I would be excited if they reached out and was like, hey, I see what you're working on. You need this. You need that. You need that. If there's like a system that I have that like deals with private data, I'm definitely not as loosey-goosey with it. What's stack for the separate blog app? The system Tater integrates with. Astro, yeah, why not? Self-contained per flavor. I've actually never used Astro. Ships 0JS by default. Blazing static output. Best fit for a blog that runs slightly off your. Yeah, I usually use Next.js. Invite is pretty cool. I like mashed potatoes dashboard, lightest SPA. You already have the pattern, but less blog native. No built-in MD. I would rather. We're going Astro. Astro. Each skill is fully standalone. A user grabs just fine. Works best open source ergonomics. Yeah. All right. So what I love about Claude is I'm able to like directly keep doing stuff while this video goes on and we're live. Correct it in the archive and no, it's empty. The takeaway and it's on theme for the brand. Let's update the seed. Return what to who? Localhost 4747. All right. Skill is a package reusable. The goal. Goal is the state you hand cloud the done. Steering towards. Do I have to refresh? But goal can absolutely exist as a custom project scope. Brett has Wow, this is telling on me right here. Any file? No, this is still not true. This is still not true. But goal can absolutely exist in a custom project. Any file in the projects becomes a command. There's exactly one. Satori goal, which sets and pursues a verified. The deeper point stands. A goal is the agent. So what does? Did I download goal? Oh, so people are literally just flooding the internet with their own skills and then being like, hey, this is the new standard. I think that's probably the meta right now, where you just like pretend that the thing that you made is the standard and start like spreading it that way. Then people will evangelize for you. Okay, corrected in the. Can you Google whether or not Claude goal is a goal thing, is a skill made by Anthropic, or is it just something I copied from someone else on the internet? I read that it was from Anthropic. Okay. Locked. Astro self-contained flavors. Expect I can hand a fresh session for the web build, and the whole line stays potato adaptable like the context clearing skill, but not your warm potato character without the potato's internal coupling. Warm potato character in naming conventions. Everything should not be trying to shoehorn a potato in. It's just on brand for me to name things this way. Okay, those are working. What else? What are we doing? Got it. That reframe still potato note correctly lives in the naming layer because that's just how you name things. It does not mean shoehorning potato mascots, puns, or split team UI into the actual product. The web app and the entries it produces should be clean, professional, genuinely good looking. The potato is the label on the tin, not the contents. Yeah. See, I don't need this. I should be telling. There's this caveman. I don't know if I want to build this with caveman, but I heard there's this caveman one that cuts down on tokens and still effectively gets information back. Gets information back. You still get the good loops. It doesn't ruin like the output. It just it doesn't talk to you extremely verbosely the way I do. Got it. Okay, now the potato kernel, the out-of-the-box skill. Clean, adaptable, audience defaults to self, writes to out, overridable, modeled on your context. Okay. Yep. There is exactly. You lied to me. Jenny. You lied to me. Now the potato kernel, the out-of-the-box skill. Clean, adaptable, audience. Writes to out, overridable. So instead of clearing a Claude session, we do current session's context and writes one beautiful structured. Yeah, I wonder, are we going to be able to do this within the next 14 minutes? Because I have a call then. What do you think? I got this new jacket. USA. I never cared too much for soccer in the past, but the World Cup has lit a fire underneath me. That game it's exciting to watch. There's money involved. But that doesn't mean you should be gambling. All right, now a reference entity, valid contract. Let's see if it's been creating anything yet or if it's just been ruminating. CD journal web, ls. It's just a spec. Come on, mate. Come on. All right. I guess in the meantime, we are in the middle of a sprint dedicated to explore. We're directly in the middle. Yesterday was the strawberry moon. Explore the cell, where it was in maximum reflection mode. The rule now, is that a bug? The rule is now to only improve the existing ones. And technically, I don't even think these ones are, I really like this. But that was not AI coded. I made that myself. Wallets, yeah, Excel wallet.flutter because I can't just work on one project because I got learning materials. Oh yeah, I hate this one. This didn't turn out good. I'm trying to make it so that there's like an educational component, like to sidechain it. What do I mean sidechain it? I want an educational component to this explore the cells game, and I mean it's already like in there. If you go to learn, I guess it's this, but this is more like a vocabulary list than it is the actual thing I'm trying to build. I also think this might need pathing, so that, what am I talking about? I took a course today at work, and there's modules, there's steps, there's completion, there's circular progress indicators, and that's all cool. I want to do that for all of the different games in here. So I think there's more games now. Let's try Harvest. Oh no, it just effectively deleted the ones I didn't want. So Harvest, this one used to be broken. This one's stressful. And it's especially stressful on web because, not on web, on desktop. Because like you can imagine with your like one thumb, this is a lot, or multiple thumbs, this is a lot easier. Like, oh my gosh, this is getting stressful. I'm not getting all the tokens. We just watered them. That gives us, it's supposed to buy us a little bit more time. It's supposed to be a Mario Party-like thing. I like how these look like, come on. Oh my gosh. And like, there's not a huge setback if you don't, what is it? If you tap them early, but if you miss one and it's like all red, you'll lose that one and it won't grow anymore. I'm not getting the gold at all, but they're like 5 each. Oh, but if you buy helpers, I'm just buying helpers. Oh, you lose money though, so I think that means you don't get as many points at the end. Oh no, I looked away for just a second. All right, so now we should, that's the problem. I just need to give it full root access to everything that I'm doing in my life. Yep, that should fix it. Skeletons down, here's the state, done for the pass. Okay, build. Okay, ooh, paste this into a fresh session. I like that. I like that. CD, I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. Are we in the right place? CD, potatoes, boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. I'm trying to also change my vocabulary to orient more towards potatoes. Like instead of saying, hell yeah, I would say French fries or something. It probably sounds dumb, but we're committing. Okay, kick this off in a fresh session. Potato skills, journal web. Potato skills. I think I could just do it right here. Bang, bang. Okay, to test potato in your other session, say journal this or context journal. Near the end of it'll drop an entry which the web session can then render. The round trip skill rights is the real integration of the contract. Watch the first live potato run. So I could do that right here. Journal this. Sorry, I was just reading. That's the, okay. One question for when you're ready. Each flavor folder is self-contained per your call, so tater, pierogi, fry will each restate the potato procedure inline rather than import it. That's the right open source ergonomic. Grab one folder. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Running potato on the session that created it, dog food moment. Following the skill's own procedure through line, we built the context journal skeleton and immediately ran the journaler on itself. Diamond's mind. From the full arc, The 3 live clarifications that actually shaped it, parallel handoff, adaptable but still. I don't think it did this that well. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Goal is from Anthropic. It's built in. They shipped it recently. You set a completion condition in CloudWorks autonomously. Oh yeah, this is important. You did not copy it from someone else. What you did read was correct. The one nuance is that it's a built-in command, not an instant installable agent skill. It's not from the Anthropic skills repo. The goal.md in your Satori repo is a separate custom command that you made that happens to share the name. It's a horrible idea. Why would I do that? I've corrected the archive entry, rebuilt the database, and saved it so I clarify. I'm satisfied with this one. We're actually just gonna, because we only have like 5 minutes left. No. Well, the cool thing is, all right, git add, git push. The reason that I freaked out just now was I thought I lost. Oh, did it already deploy it? June 30th, git push. The reason I had freaked out is because I thought, oh no, I lost my context. But the reality is if you just resume, you could run the command on all of the ones that you've done in the past. So one thing to note from live, the procedure worked cleanly, but the find the through line, mind the potato steps, lean on judgment about what's non-obvious, so it's already in the code. The distinction is that the thing separates a useful recall entry from the... All right. I think the thing that I didn't really make clear is that myself, I am a user of Claude Code, a developer. I code in Flutter, Swift, Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, etc. The core thing that the potato skill, that the journaling skill I envisioned was supposed to do was like teach me about my own poor patterns. I didn't really get that across at all. So maybe for now we can put that into the into one of the other flavors. If I read this context compaction, I don't think I'd find much use out of it. But if the blog post first adversarially reviewed the content or the conversation, the back and forth, the potential places for error, researched those issues, and returned with a really solid case / thesis with a few key points, I think it'd be way more valuable than saying we made a potato skill and we named it potato. Let's see if it did this. It's still taking. Now I have a clear picture. Let me check the latest version and set up the project. That all works all well and good. So I guess we do have Astro now. That's still running. Did we? Okay, it's from Anthropic. So yeah, we said, okay, we wanted to resume so that we could do context journal this? Is it just journal this? Do we have a journal this skill? I thought we just made a journal skill. Maybe it's because it's in there that we don't have it. Should we create symlinks for this skill so it also lives in my root so I can potato my other contexts? No, there's no. What does exist? Yeah, I think what I had done was In my Claude MD in the past, I was like, I want development events and business events to get extracted whenever I do something that has to do with those things. But the reality is, myself, it's a journal, the date, index, QA, archive. Yep. I guess. Okay. I've been trying to think about what I'm supposed to do with my second project, which is Start Note. And effectively, I think that AI just helps me take notes. Yeah, that lands. And honestly, the entries I just wrote prove your point. We made a potato skill and named a potato as a recap, not a lesson. Zero recall value because it teaches you nothing about you don't already know. The valuable artifact isn't what happened; it's what you're about to. It's where you're about to step on a rake again. Let me restate what I think you're actually after and where it goes. The core value: an adversarial research critique of the session that teaches you your own anti-patterns, not a narrative. The skill should read the back and forth as a skeptic. Find the spots where errors crept in or decisions were shaky. Research them against real best practices, docs, known pitfalls, and come back with a tight thesis, a few key points, each with evidence and a concrete fix. I've always envisioned that in the future, AI isn't like this like thing. I mean, I think it should like beats you over the head, but like consensually, like I've always wanted it something to just coach me, something to just be like, hey, this is how you can improve. So I think that's really useful. Something to like call you on your BS. So recap: kernel Tater is one that is better developer. It also justifies web integration. Tater review of this very session: you flag the risk and then walk straight into it. Too near it would be redundant. You defined a contract with zero enforcement on the producer side. Contract exists. Nothing validates that the skill's output actually conforms. Classic schema as documentation, not as a gate. It will drift. You called dog fooding a passing test. I authored both the procedure and the run, so it held is self-congratulation, not verification, no independent check. That's the register. Two things I'd lock for now. Okay, good instinct, symlink, the repo. Yep. Okay. So a symlink. I guess we gotta go over here. When I use terms that you don't know that you might not know, I want to just make sure we record them. What is a symlink? Run a potato. Okay. Link to use it now in any new session. Skills are loaded at session start. So this, in a way, has gamified. No, it's not. We're in the middle of a game sprint, and here I am reflecting. Technically, though, the goal with the whole like setting up 3 objectives per moon phase has to do with not 3 objectives per moon phase. Per season, you get 3 objectives. But like, I look at it like when the sun or when the moon is at maximum reflection, that's when we maximally reflect on what we've worked on. So in a way, this is actually like hyper reflection, but now it's beginning to wane and we have to get back into project mode, which is the explore the cell. I would say like the day before, the day during, and the day after are kind of like the maximal reflection mode. But like I feel like I want to tie in feedback integration to the way that I approach reflection, because it's not just my reflection, it's how it appears to others. So I have to do better at trying to grab that. To use it now in any new session, say journal this or context journal potato. It'll write the contract to out. One thing to flag right now, you'd be potatoing for your other content, which is the recap flavor you just told me is low value to you. The flavor you actually want, that's still waiting on your Yumatsu to build. Yumatsu build Tater now, please. All right. We were not able to get it done, but maybe after this, after the call, I'll restart this, and like we can see how far we've come.